Hello, my name is David Vining. I'm the trombone professor at Northern Arizona University. I'm here to give you a brief overview of what it's like to be a trombone student at NAU. We have all kinds of majors available. You can be a performance major if you're at the peak of the talent crop. You can be a music ed major if you want to be a music educator when you graduate. We also have an excellent Bachelor of Arts or BA degree. You can also be a music minor. And I've also, on occasion, taught students who aren't music majors at all, but just want to take lessons. Of course, that depends on how many students I have and whether or not I have time to fit you in. Regardless, all of my trombone students have the option of performing in any of our fine ensembles, which include the orchestra, the wind symphony, the symphonic band, the marching band. There's also a collegiate band for mainly non-majors. There's a full slate of jazz bands, Jazz 1 and Jazz 2, some jazz combos, and very important, we have lots of chamber music as well. You can play in a brass quintet or a trombone quartet, and any combination of these ensembles. And of course, you would also, if you're a music major, take some music theory, ear training, music history, the core of your music skills classes, and trombone lessons. I believe the trombone lessons are where all of those experiences come together. And I like to think of coalescing all of your skills in music theory and music history into your soloistic trombone playing. I also believe that fundamentals are very important. In other words, if you are really good at your fundamentals, then it makes everything you do better, which means we spend a good amount of time cultivating your fundamentals. And those are your tone quality, your intonation, and your rhythm. Now, this is not to neglect the many other areas of music making, which of course are very important. But if these big three ideas are not intact and rock solid, then it doesn't really matter how nice your vibrato is, for example. So, every lesson is about 1 hour in length. And if you're a music minor, you might take a half-hour lesson, which would change things a little bit, but the proportions of what we work on would be about the same. So let's take an hour-long lesson as an example. The first 15 minutes would be spent on one of these fundamental skills. So for example, we might play duets that are long tones for 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, in order to open up the ears of the student and to cultivate that tone quality so that it's always beautiful in every register and at every dynamic. The second 15 minutes of a lesson are devoted to scales or etude work. I love working out of etude books such as Arbin's or Coprash or the Bordoni Melodious Etudes. And you heard me play a phrase from that when we began this little video. And we'll spend a little bit of time on etude books. Blazevich clef studies are also excellent. And these books are designed to target one area of your playing. And they're excellent for that reason. So for example, melodious etudes are great for learning how to play melodically. The next section of your lesson would be devoted to solo work or perhaps excerpts. It kind of depends on what you're working on at that time. Some of my favorite solos include the Schulek Sonata. Of course, there's Grandal Concerto Tomasi if you're more advanced. And there are the old standbys as well, the Morceau Symphonique by Guillemot. If you don't know all of these solos, don't worry, because that's part of the reason you come to college, to learn them and to work on them. And that generally leaves us a little bit of time to take care of any special projects that you're working on or any questions that you might have. That's the basic construction of one of the lessons that you would take with me. I think it's extremely important that I tailor your curriculum to your goals. Every student has slightly different goals, and every student has slightly different strengths and weaknesses. So within the framework that I just outlined for you, you would have different assignments than your friend who's also a trombone major. It all depends on what you want to accomplish and how we can get you to your goal more effectively and efficiently. I would characterize the trombone studio here at NAU as friendly and hardworking. I average between 12 and 16 trombone students in any given semester, and those would be a variety of performance, mostly music ed majors and some BAs and non-majors as well. If you come to school at NAU as a trombone player, you will study directly with me because there's no teaching assistant. And I would call this program a manageable size. So if you want a friendly environment in which fundamentals and music making are emphasized, then I would encourage you to consider NAU. I would also like to invite you to come and have a lesson with me to sort of get to know each other. I think that's extremely important because nowhere else on campus is there a relationship that's one-on-one like applied lessons are. So it's important that you ensure that you are compatible with the professor as you are making your decision. I also have a web page that I maintain. It's called trombonetools.com, and it'll give you a taste of how I like to teach and some of the main principles behind my teaching. There are a lot of subjects on that web page and a lot of videos as well. And if you would like to come to pay us a visit, again, I'd encourage you to do that, and you can email me to set that up. Thank you.